If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
That display was very reminiscent of the last one. It's baffling to me after the week of practice I watched these guys have that we could play that poorly. We played with enough passion and energy for about 8 or 9 minutes to win games in this league. And we got to show up on Sundays. We're doing a hell of a job Monday through Friday, but we're not showing up on Sundays.
All right, what are we missing? We got all the talent. Get some players back, get Gronkowski back, get Young back, get Brown back, and then try to get our mojo back.
But defensively, they're struggling too. They're the offensive guys.
Hey, Mike, they've been struggling a little bit all year long with their defense.
I can tell you, though, it feels like the sky's falling with Tampa. They're 7-3. Last year, after 10 games, they were 7-3. And they wound up going on to win the Super Bowl.
You don't want to write them off. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like they've lost 2 in a row and it feels bad.
Tom, there didn't seem to be many shots down the field today. I know there were a couple interceptions, balls going off guys' hands and stuff. But what were they doing to keep you from having splash plays like in the passing game?
No, we just never really played on our terms. So we played from behind the whole game, and they played a good game out. They had a good plan.
Tom, last year you guys came out of the bye and kind of set things in the right motion for the end of the season. How hard is it to do the opposite in this first game back?
I mean, we have obviously, it's just not a great day of football for us. So it doesn't matter who you play if we, have a bunch of self-inflicted errors too. I mean, we gotta eliminate those and then see if we can go out and execute the plays that are there.
What did you see on the 2 interceptions?
We started with the ball, they came away with it. So,
what's your level of concern with Tampa Bay after this loss? I mean, look, the one thing we've seen, whether it's the Titans losing to the Jets, whether it's the Bills losing to the Jaguars, whether it's Dallas losing 30-0 at home with 4 minutes to go against the Denver Broncos, you can pick a team, basically everybody, and it seems like they have at least one where they just sort of went, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sort of brush this off if you want, or you can say, no, I have real concern. What's your level of concern?
I'm not close to hitting the panic button just yet, because eventually they will get Carlton Davis back in the lineup. Eventually they will get Richard Sherman back in the lineup. Some experienced corners to really help the secondary. And if the secondary is playing better, the linebackers and the guys on the defensive line would play better as well. So I'm not concerned, because within their division, they're still in a pretty good spot. Right, the New Orleans Saints, a huge loss for Tampa, because that still kept separation. That will keep separation between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's currently first in their division, the NFC South, and the second place team, the New Orleans Saints. So I'm not quite ready to hit the panic button, but they just got to find a way to right their ship and hopefully get healthy sooner than later.
Defensively, in terms of not being able to get off the field on third downs, I think they had 10 conversions. Obviously the last drive was a killer, but how much was that a problem the whole game?
The entire game. Sherman pulls his calf before the game, and then D gets concussed. So we're really having more DBs, but that's no excuse. Whoever's out there, you got to get off the field.
Last year you guys came out of the bye with such a different way, kind of finding yourselves and cruising the rest of the way. How hard is it to see them have that break and now have the opposite to start things off?
That's very disappointing. I mean, it's very alarming to watch the energy that we practice with and show up with the lack of execution and energy that it takes to win in this league on Sunday. We got a lot of soul searching to do.
Coach, I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, but do you have any sort of update on Brady?
No.
Do you know what the body part is? What he's dealing with?
He felt something in his knee, but we don't know what it is.
And on the same token, Chase Young is a guy that folks admire all around the league. How tough is it when you see, even on the other sideline, see a guy like
that? Yeah, you hate to see really good, great players get injured in this game.
I'm going to go to BMAC first, because you play defense for a living in the NFL. Tom Brady scores, and the place is like, okay, he's going to get the ball back. We're all watching the game. We're like, okay, I've seen this movie like a lot. It's like watching, any one of the sports movies. Like, I know that Rudy gets into the game every time, right? No matter how many times I watch it, the ending is the same. And it felt like, okay, you're going to get shut down. You're going to give the ball back to Brady. He's going to score, and they're going to win. And they go on a 10.5-minute drive. That's not
19 plays, right?
19 plays, 80 yards, 10 minutes, 26 seconds, longest drive of the NFL this season. Have you ever been part of a 10-minute drive in this spot? What happened?
I don't want to be part of a 10-minute drive. That is tiring. And I understand Tampa. They've been dealing with so many injuries on the defensive side, but at some point in time, playing against Tyler Heineke and the Washington Football Club offense, you have to find a way to get a stop. That was the storyline the entire ball game for Washington offensively, being able to convert first down after first down after first down. Not to mention you had a slow start from Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense, interceptions and things like that. So defensively, they got to get better. It wasn't the best outing from Tom Brady offensively, but one thing we can say defensively for Tampa, since all these injuries have occurred, they have really been inconsistent, not putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks and not getting off on third down situations. I think Taylor Heineke was like 11 to 19 on third down opportunities. A 10-minute drive should never happen if you're a playoff championship caliber team.
Coach, defensively, you guys did come up with 5 sacks. I know that was something you were looking for. Was that any sort of bright spot?
No, because, we still had a couple that we let him get out too many times, and we talked about it all week, and I think we dropped 3 interceptions right in our hands, so you're not going to beat anybody that way.
Of all the ways to lose a game, giving up a 19-play drive to close things out,
That's very disappointing for us. Yeah, for us. We pride ourselves on defense, and we've lost too many games, given up too many leads in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned seeing some similar things this week compared to the game before the bye week. Are those things you're seeing troubling to you, or are they easily fixable? Like how?
Energy and passion is very fixable. The penalties, they got to get corrected sooner or later. First play of the game, we're shifting and we jump off sides. They don't even run a play and we jump off sides. That's just the stupidity has to go away if we're going to go anywhere.
Is that the most frustrating part about it? Is it the fact that it isn't because of lack of ability, but some of those?
No, that has nothing to do with ability. It's all about execution and being a smart football team. We're a very dumb football team, and that's a reflection of the coaches.
Bruce Arians earlier this week talked about, hey, during that bye, what you want to work on? And he said, nothing really, just wanted to shore up a couple of penalties and turnovers, is what Bruce Arians said about the self-scouting at the bye. Well, they figured out the penalties. They averaged about 7.5 per game. Heading into this game, they only had 6 against football team. However, they allowed, not just on that final drive, but in 3 total drives, they allowed double-digit plays in those drives. And all points off the turnovers. They turned the ball over a couple of times. Washington football team had 10 points off of those turnovers. And so when you look at the Tampa Bay side, they only had 1 double-digit play drive. Meanwhile, Washington football team with 3. That's going to be the difference in the game. You don't always need a great game from Tom Brady, but you need your defense to show up. And when your defense doesn't show up, then you need a great game from Tom Brady. Unfortunately, neither one of those things happened.
Of course, you clearly played worse on the road. You played worse on the road than at home. That's probably not unusual for some teams, but what do you think happens when?
Yeah, that's we thought we had it nailed down, but it's obvious the point spread differential from home and away is crowd. That's why they even crowd noise. But so yeah, we've got to do a much better job traveling.
Second straight week that Brady's had multiple interceptions. Can you just speak to what was going on maybe with the receivers and his performance?
No, it had nothing to do with receivers. It was him.
First down as many corners as you are, is there a hope or an optimism that you could have Murphy Bundy and you could have Davis back next week?
Sean showed a lot of progress this week. He started to use his arm. We'll see him practice next week. Carlton's close. I don't know about D getting out of the concussion protocol, so we'll wait and see.
Is there any indication on how serious Sherman's calf injury is?
He couldn't play.
JJ, quickly, is the division up for grabs in the NFC South, or do you still feel like it's Tampa's?
I still feel like it's Tampa's. I don't believe in the Saints, haven't believed in the Saints with Trevor Siemian. I thought that their win against the Bucs was a fluke. Falcons are showing who they are in the Carolina Panthers. Unless Cam really turns it around for the Panthers, I still think this NFC South is the Bucs to have.
Where you rely on to turn this around? You haven't had many losing streaks.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about teams with good leadership not losing 2 in a row, and I can't remember last time, other than before the bye last year. And I trust our guys. We've got a lot of character in there that they'll get it fixed.
Do you think anything coverage-wise or scheme-wise that they hadn't shown on film?
No.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day. Thanks for watching.